Take a look at these terrifying creatures. They're not photoshopped, they actually exist. But how is that possible? The answer to that lies with Lyra Maganuco, the creator of these monsters. She creates dozens of these beings from silicone and other available materials, and some of them get sold for anywhere between $45 and $15,000 per item. We won't ask why you want one of them, but at least now you know where to get one. Sometimes horror movie scenes happen in the real world, like this disturbing occurrence in Kiev, Ukraine. The earth began to rise, followed by a concrete-shattering explosion as the water gushed out from under the ground. What's even more amazing is the reaction of this man. He is not fazed in the slightest. Perhaps he's gone to fetch his surfboard. This next piece of footage might shock you. Victor Vescovo descended 36,069 feet into the deepest place in the ocean, the Mariana Trench. On his way down, Victor encountered some incredible aquatic creatures, including arrow-toothed eel, barrel-eye fish with a transparent head, and giant grenadier. At that depth, the pressure is about 16,000 psi. It's like having 100 adult elephants standing on top of your head. But the real surprise awaited at the very bottom. Even on this level, Victor found some discarded plastic. Admit it, you broke a glass or two when you were young.
Oh man, it didn't go through.
Artist Simon Berger still does it. He uses glass as his canvas and a hammer instead of a brush. And it comes out absolutely gorgeous. Wouldn't you agree? Each piece of his art costs hundreds of dollars, which means with every brushstroke, Simon takes a risk. One wrong move and his canvas is ruined. How much do you like to travel? How far would you go to get a full tank of gas? Would you wear a revealing bikini to get free gas?
What is that actually happened?
One of the gas stations in Russia ran a promotion that granted a full tank for those wearing a bikini. And if you think only women dared to wear a two-piece, think again. If that seems extreme to you, wait till you see this next clip. These people strip down to their underwear while surrounded by snow, and check it out. They're taking a dip while it's negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Were they genetically modified with walrus DNA? Probably not, but at least they're having fun. In Sweden, extreme sports are quite popular too. The sound you just heard is of ice cracking. A mathematician from Stockholm, Henrik Trigg, has been doing wild ice skating for over 20 years. But could he actually go under? The answer is yes, if the ice is thinner than 1.3 inches. That's why Henrik carefully measures the thickness of the ice.
45 millimeter.
You might think that's not enough. Surely such thin ice will crack under a person. But everything is calculated. And in the same way ancient Roman buildings were supported by the arches, the ice is actually supported by the water. Except, why is the ice black? Have you ever seen anything quite like it? And no, it's not a plucked chick. It's Rhea, a lovebird from Boston. The reason Rhea looks this way is because she suffers from cytosine beak and feather disease. This illness affects the bird's immune system and is usually characterized by loss of feathers and a deformed beak. Despite her condition, Rhea remains optimistic. As you can see, she likes to sing and dress in bright-colored jumpers. Our next wonder also originates in Boston. That's where they invented keratoprosthesis, otherwise known as an artificial cornea. Boston keratoprosthesis is given to people suffering from issues such as dry eye syndrome, cataracts, or burns. After the procedure, patients can enjoy their new 20/20 vision. One day, we might all look a little bit like cyborgs. Or are we going to look like dolls? Take a look at this young woman. She barely appears human. She looks more like a wind-up doll. However, it's an actual flesh and bone person from Tokyo. Her real name is kept secret, but her character is called Lulu Hashimoto. Lulu is created with some help from a wig, a mask, and lace stockings. Both the outfits and her face create the doll-like illusion.
Would you like to play with me?
It's entirely possible we will end up looking like aliens. When Hannah Rose Dalton and Stephen Raj Bhaskaran designed their famous skin boots, they were certainly trying to create a hype. So, what's so special about their thigh boots? They mimic human skin to an uncanny extent. The boots are made with silicone. They feature birthmarks, short hairs, and are even colored in a way that is remarkably similar to human skin. According to these designers, that's a look people might soon be able to achieve through body modification. And if this look appeals to you, you can buy these boots for the small sum of $10,000. What's going on in this hair salon? Don't worry, these people just came to get a haircut. Italian hairstylists claim that fire strengthens your hair and prevents hair loss. We all know that Italy is the trailblazer when it comes to fashion, sometimes literally. Would you dare to get a fiery haircut? And what is this? Burning Man Festival? Nope. That's just 3,051 drones creating 3D images in the sky. It's no wonder that this Chinese light show achieved the Guinness World Record for the most unmanned aerial vehicles in simultaneous flight. Of course, it's not just about the quantity. Notice how seamlessly synchronized the drones are. The sky is beaming with a multitude of colors, all coming together to create the stunning display. It seems nothing is impossible in China. You might have heard that money doesn't grow on trees. Though sometimes a tree produces an even more unusual product, like this fruit from the Japanese akebia tree. Sometimes it's referred to as chocolate wine, thanks to its unique flavor. Its appearance is even more unusual than the taste. It looks like a purple bun with delicious filling inside, and since the fruit grows in bunches, it's not a sight you'll soon forget. Now, you'll witness something most ophthalmologists won't have encountered despite many years of practice. This 19-year-old Iranian had a unique issue. His eyes suddenly started to grow hair. This was caused by a rare type of tumor. Thankfully, this guy is on the mend. The tumor was surgically removed, and now this chap looks just like everybody else. We can't say the same about our next heroine. Her flexibility is astounding. It's as if she's made of rubber. Many of us won't ever dream of assuming positions performed by this American dancer, Kylie Shea. Take a look. It appears as if Kylie's sitting on an invisible chair and her feet are twisted in impossible directions. And her dynamic flexibility is even more impressive. You won't be surprised to learn that Kylie has been doing ballet for 31 years and she is only 34. Do you think climbing Mount Everest is dangerous? Of course it is. But first you have to get there, and that's a challenge of its own. The Lukla Airport, which is considered a starting point for treks towards Everest Base Camp, is deemed the most dangerous airport in the world. The runway is only 1,729 feet long. In contrast, the longest runway at the JFK Airport is 14,512 feet, which is a whopping 8 times longer than the Lukla Airport runway. Because of the increased risk, the only pilots that can land a plane in Lukla are those that have completed 100 flights with a short takeoff and landing, and an additional 10 flights to Lukla with a certified piloting instructor. The world has something else in store for us. You might have encountered chocolate sauce before, maybe you've even tasted it, and you've definitely had ice before. This, however, is a whole new level. It's chocolate sauce slowly melting with an ice cube. Doesn't that look super futuristic? Check out these water droplets. They look suspended in midair. But what seems like magic is only an optical illusion. The water is not really levitating, but is made to look this way by using a strobe light. The lights are set up to flash with the same frequency as the pace of the incoming droplets. Every time the stroboscope flashes, it lights a different droplet in place of a previous one, creating the levitation illusion. But even knowing how it's done, we are blown away by the illusion.